building of championships, McKale on campus at the University of Arizona. We did this all last year, but they weren't coming in. You were joining us on television, but the band and the fans, they weren't here. And I know it seems like a lot and a lot to speak about, but it matters. It's exhibition, it's Eastern New Mexico. Two brand new first-time head coaches take their jobs into college basketball. And it shouldn't seem like a lot because things have gotten regular, but basketball wasn't regular the last time we were together. Matt Muehlbach, Darren Sutton, thanks for hanging out with us. It does mean a lot to have human beings in the building. It's something to celebrate.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the pride of Arizona, the fans, you said it, the people coming in. We were here set last year, 25 feet behind the court. No one else was here. This is awesome to have everybody back.
Tommy Lloyd is here. He's the brand new head coach. He is no stranger to 30-win seasons. As a matter of fact, that's the norm at Gonzaga. He was on that staff for 2 full decades.
Yeah, 5 times they were ranked #1 in 5 different seasons. You look at him, the guy's been to 2 national title games. He really has an unbelievable resume. You wonder, okay, hadn't been a coach for 20 years, but he has really done an amazing job, Sut. I really like what he's done. He's genuine. He's confident. I feel like he's a great leader. I feel like this Arizona team is going to love him, and the fans will love him here, too.
A couple of very athletic future pros and 2 talented guys, second-year players, Azuolas Tubelis and Ben Mathurin. We'll keep an eye on both tonight in this exhibition.
Well, an incredible combo when you look at the skill level, the athleticism, a big guy that could take it in, and then the outside shooter in Mathurin that's also one of the best athletes in this conference. The last time the 2 freshmen came back in this conference, Jordan Bell, Dylan Brooks, they were amazing. 2 great freshmen coming back to this Arizona team, a great core for this team.
There was no doubt about it when you looked at what happened at Gonzaga that Tommy Lloyd was constantly sending guys to the NBA. He will be doing that with those 2 and maybe more. We celebrate college basketball tonight. In a little bit more than a week, it all counts. We're excited about that. But hang out with us tonight. Get to know the new Wildcats.
Why hide your skin if Dupixent has your moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis under control?
Hide our skin, not us.
Because Dupixent targets a root cause of eczema, it helps heal your skin from within, keeping you one step ahead.
And you can feel fall in the air, which makes it feel like college basketball. Getting into the 50s in the evening, still desert 80s in the daytime. But the Valley and the desert, both parts of Arizona, both Arizona State and Arizona, proud of the weather they have in training these athletes. Kriisa gets to start, so does Ben Mathurin, Dalen Terry, Azuolas Tubelis, Christian Coloco, maybe one of the great stories in the conference this year. Keep an eye on Jose Serrano. He is a key player for this team, and Kentrell Pullian, he will help run the offense for this Division II team, Eastern New Mexico, with Brent Owen as their first-year head coach. Technically second, but they didn't play last year, so Owen has that opportunity. There is Coach Lloyd. It was funny, he was giving his foe on the other bench the business for nodding up wearing a tie. He looks pretty casual and relaxed.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a first-time head coach at an iconic program like this that relaxed, Darren. I mean, he is so relaxed. He's got his staff in the golf shirts. They feel pretty confident over there, and we'll get into it a lot in this game, but we get really impressed with what Tommy Lloyd's done so far.
Yeah, we celebrate Brent Owen. He took the job, and then there was no season, and he is really proud of how they didn't waste time. They were able in pods to work out. He said, we were able to, my staff and I, build the program as we want it. We wouldn't have wanted it to go this way, but we're glad to be playing. This means a lot. This means a lot for Eastern New Mexico to be just playing tonight. The aggression and the penetration of Kriisa. Coloco whistled for the foul away from the basketball, first personal. Christian Coloco, we've seen him now for 3 years on campus. He is a defensive force as he works defensively, certainly a shot-blocking machine. He improved dramatically from the free throw stripe last year. Speaking of making a statement, how good does that feel for Jaquan Morris, the junior out of Blinn Community College?
Yeah, not nervous at all. Comes in just firing on that first possession, and Arizona backdoor play right there by Terry. And it's going to be fun to watch both of these offenses tonight, Darren. I think Arizona under Tommy Lloyd, this new up-tempo, fast pace, a lot of pick and roll, a lot of back cuts. You'll see 4 out and 1 in with Tubelis right there that time in. And on the other side, too, I think you're going to see Eastern New Mexico. They're going to go 5 out, none in. We just saw it right there. It'll be a tough guard for Arizona, especially the big guys trying to guard a lot of smaller guys on this Eastern New Mexico team.
Matherin last year, 11 points per game, 5 rebounds. Took advantage when he went to the line, shot 85%. They'd love to see him more than the 78 times he went to the line. I think you can anticipate 100+ trips to the free throw line for him this year.
Yeah, Tubelis was second on the team in free throw attempts last year. Of course, Akinjo, the great point guard, left for Baylor. It was first on the team, but I think you'll see Matherin and Tubelis high up there.
Jose Serrano, the senior from Venezuela. Chula Vista, California is where he played his junior college basketball, and a chance to go to the line for Ben Matherin, the Haitian-Canadian, the talented athlete who's gotten comfortable in Tucson.
Well, how good was that pass by Kerr Kriisa, point guard for Arizona? Throwing it almost from the logo right there, and I think Kriisa is going to be one of the most interesting players to watch on this team as Matherin gets the and one, but you know, playing point for this Arizona team, a lot of responsibility on his shoulder this year. It's going to be fun to watch his development.
It's his team. He's got an edge. He'll let you know it if, in fact, he lights you up. He has the characteristics of competitiveness as a leader. They've seen a lot of those characteristics. Tommy Lloyd, he clicking right away.
Yeah, likes his energy, likes the way he pushes it, and you can already see this Arizona team really pushing it on every possession.
Terry, boy, did he create some space that time with Cornell Greenwood inside. Christian Coloco, that's another one that will spend a lot of time, if it goes well, at the free throw line. Coloco will go to the line, drawing the foul.
You can see there Tubelis getting great position. Eastern New Mexico will have problems with him down in the post, just how strong he is, and then the dive there by Coloco. It was interesting. I talked to Chris Rounds, their strength and conditioning coach, came back, was with Sean Miller all those years, and I said, hey, who's your favorite guy in the weight room? And without a set, just jumped up. Christian Coloco said he just works hard. He's really put in the time in this offseason. We talked about it last year. He was a guy that was really hurt by COVID. Coloco just did not have time for the individual work, the weight room work and those things. And I think he's really put in the time this year, and you'll see a difference.
Yeah, Sean Miller, former coach of this team, made it clear from the get-go. He wished he would have had him here when they were separated for that time. He's the perfect candidate, but his body looks completely different than he did when he first walked into this building, and he can block some shots.
Yeah, right on cue, that incredible wingspan, 7'1" in a huge span.
Using the glass, another opportunity. Coloco grabs the basketball. Gotcha, he says, as he puts it home. A tree up there amongst the shrubs.
Well, and I think you saw the strength there. I mean, that obviously smaller guys, but he was able to hold the ball above his head and then jump it right up there, and nice touches while doing it.
Fire, but it's off the mark. That's Adam Hess.
And watch him run, too. Look at him run down the lane. That was created by Coloco. Kerr getting to the rim.
Tubelis fires a triple. Just off the mark, a little bit short. Julius last year shot 31% from distance, 13 of 42. KP, Kentrell Pullian, out of Benton Harbor, Michigan. A true freshman earning a chance to start for this team. An offensive foul. Terry with a little bit of a firm push. Let's take a look both sides for Christian.
Well, not much chance here when you have Coloco, and I think the rumors going around like a 7'5", 7'6" wingspan. But watch the strength there. Gathers, never brings the ball down. Of course, great fundamentals. And, you don't see it on his body in the sense that he's a, huge muscle guy. But as I mentioned, Rounds talked about just how strong he is. Maybe you don't see it when you first look at him, but I expect a gigantic year from him, not to put pressure on him. I think early on, this guy could be one of the most improved players in the league this year. I really do. And I said that last year. And as I said, I think it was unfair to him because he didn't have the preseason that most guys have.
Kim Aiken Jr. comes on, the transfer from Eastern Washington. He was for a minute at Washington State as a grad student. And academically, it didn't work out for him, as that is followed up and put home by Jos Kobas, the senior, out of Miami, Florida.
And Kobas can play. He had 13 rebounds against St. Mary's 2 years ago, so not afraid of this competition.
Anyway, Aiken found himself here. They try to get him the basketball. 24, Kim Aiken in that white University of Arizona jersey. Aiken's there defensively. He grabs the rebound. Looked like he took a pop in the face as that one popped loose. He's all right. Rubellis never left his feet, I should say.
He's going up.
He is going up. Couple off the mark. There's the aforementioned Kim Aiken. He's from Redlands, California. 11.3 points per game at Eastern Washington.
Well, Aiken, Arizona fans may remember him, played last year here with Eastern Washington. You know, it's interesting. Aiken did not have a great game here. And we saw him, you and I saw him after the Red-Blue game, and he was telling us as he follows this one up right here, no one boxes out, an easy lay-in, reverses that up. But he said, I need to kind of get the stink off of that game I had last year. I didn't play well. I wanted to forget about it, and he was lights out in the Red-Blue.
He was fun to watch. He was an excellent high school player at East Valley High School. He was a rebounding machine, by the way, at Eastern Washington. He had a 22-rebound game last year. And at 6'7", there's a wingspan, there's fearlessness. Streaking to the bucket, Ben Matherin with another bucket.
Yeah, that's just Nick's level right there physically.
Steal, triple. While we were chatting, that occurred.
Yeah, that's going to be fun this year. It's going to be hard to announce because Arizona's going to play fast. They're going to get up and down. You're going to be talking about one guy, and they're going to be back up at it again.
Steal that time, the pocket was picked. We didn't get a chance to introduce Justin Kier, who has come into the building, the Georgia transfer from Virginia. Couple of buckets for the Cats. Hey guys, you're back in the building. There are fans. Enjoy it. It's just an exhibition. I think they feel different. Those that say hello, I want you to give me your thoughts on this list first before we look at the new kids on the block.
Well, what's amazing is that's 4 of the top 6 guys are gone there. When you have Akinjo, leading scorer, Terrell Brown, Jordan Brown, Jamal Baker was 3rd. I mean, that's 4 of the top 6 scorers left, like I said, Darren. And you'd think most teams, when they lose that kind of production, you worry about the next year. But Tommy Lloyd did an incredible job keeping certain guys and bringing new guys in. And you see right there the new guys. And all 4 of them, I think, could be huge for this team. We've seen Aiken already, Umar Ballo, the big kid. Kier is going to be a huge player. You started to talk about him.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the sleeper is Pelle Larsson. And, you know, it's almost like because he hurt his foot when he decided to come to Arizona, he hasn't really been in the news a lot. Played last year for Utah. You see there 8 points a game for a solid Pac-12 team. I think Larsson, I am really high on him. And, you know, rumor is getting pretty close to coming back now.
Yeah, if this were a regular season game, would have been able to play in this one, but making sure he's 100%. Big fella Ballo is on the court, so you can watch him work, not just see him in the graphic. Number 11 in that jersey out there from Mali, and a Gonzaga transfer in his time there. 2.5 points per game and 1.5 rebounds, but this is a gentleman that's got a wingspan of 7'6". He has a huge, huge presence and stands 7 feet tall.
How many teams have 2 guys that have a 7'6" wingspan in college? I mean, it's incredible, and they're both playing. And that back door right there, beautiful cut and the look. Arizona getting caught trying to deny outside, which that'll be something we'll see with this Tommy Lloyd team. Much more denial on the perimeter, a lot of heavy ball pressure, and maybe not a good enough ball pressure there to give up the back door.
That was the freshman with that beautiful bucket. That one is dropped in by Justin Kier, the Georgia transfer. Well over 1,000 points in his college career, close to 1,500 as a matter of fact. They found a good one in him.
Yeah, he's going to be a big piece this year. You just mentioned all the experience, the points right there, but playing in the SEC last year, and we'll talk more about that, but you see Arizona really pushing it, and Kier again bombing it.
A little bit firm. Ballo hustles after it, knocked out of bounds. Wildcats, no one touched it. That's exciting to see a player find a home here like Kier. There's a deep backstory that you'll learn as the season goes on. Family sacrifice he's had to deal with, but LSU knows his name. He dropped 25-6 with 3 assists on him, had 32 in a game last year, a couple of years ago, and he's an athlete that, again, with his presence, can grab the rebounds. 4 rebounds per game.
Well, it's interesting. Kier they were saying one of the things they've had to teach him is not foul so much because he played in a really physical SEC last year, and Kyer is so used to getting in guys that he tends to, maybe foul a little bit because he's so strong and so aggressive. So I think he's going to be a great defender for him. I think he's going to be a great offensive player for him off the bench, and maybe their backup point guard.
Ballo whistled for the foul that time. The motor. They're really enjoying the motor that he shows for such a bigger guy. And you think about a player like this, how he can impact 4 or 5 minute spurts. If you're a fan of the game, picture what he could do with that motor, that strength for 4 or 5 minutes, then use it a little bit later in the game for 4 or 5 minutes. Got to believe his feet that time. His defense, though, forced a turnover. Kriisa, a run in the lane, comes up well short that time. Kim Aiken had a huge red-blue game. He put on a show. Aiken's such a good athlete. He was a high schooler, varsity volleyball player, great football player. He was the quarterback. Big fellow over the big fella. That's Jared Perry. He's back in Arizona. This has got to be fun. He's from Surprise, Arizona. And an answer from a man who kind of looks like a veteran these days in Dalen Terry.
Yeah, 2 Arizona guys going back-to-back. Perry, don't know how he got it over Ballo right there, but a beautiful shot, beautiful touch, and I can't wait to talk more about Terry. I think he's going to have a monster year, the sophomore.
He's got the rebound that time. Talked about it, Terry, last year, 5 points, 3 rebounds a game. Kriisa just has a bucket that's covered with a lid thus far. He's had a couple of beautiful strokes. He's just come up empty. Eastern New Mexico fighting to keep it alive, and they do so. 18-9 the score in this exhibition. Matt Muehlbach, Darren Sutton, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It's Tuesday, it all gets cranking. We'll load up that opener for every single team, and a triple for James Jordan. He's from Kent State and Detroit.
Yeah, Brett Owen, the coach of Eastern New Mexico, talked about letting it fly, and I've been impressed so far with him letting it fly.
How about letting it fly that time, Justin Kyer? He's a player that's in the mix. He's going to continue to push for a chance to start.
Yeah, a 37% three-point shooter, but as you said, does so much more. I think he could shoot it close to 40 this year if he shoots it well. And again, really versatile. And I think when you look out there, it's interesting. A lot of these bench guys like Kyer, like Aiken, incredibly versatile guy. And, when you've been around as long as Aiken, as long as Kyer, you know how to fill it up when it counts.
At CDW, we get in a changing world. Your employees need their data to go where they go.
That's why we started tattooing it right on them. Now they have...
You more than anything in me, too, were the notable alumni. All sorts of football and basketball alums.
That's right.
We know very well.
Are you kidding me? I guarantee that is the first time in Pac-12 non-con play that we've had 2 alumni that are coaches in the conference. And I guarantee you, Don McLean, if you're listening, I dare you to say any differently, because that's one of Don's favorite is the notable alumni. But to have 2 guys in our conference, I mean, that's huge.
Well, he's 100% listening.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate that. To the line, the fine statement that's been made so far by a team, again, that didn't play at all last year. They lost their entire season a season ago. No scrimmage games, nothing against other teams. They could scrimmage one another without any contact. 3-on-3 scrimmaging. They could work in pods of 4. And this has been a thrilling night for them. They're down, but it's been a thrilling night. If you're an Eastern New Mexico alum, and by the way, some came to this arena, their head coach spoke with them before the game. This is just a night for them to celebrate.
Yeah, they had a bunch of, it wasn't a fraternity brothers. Kyer, I thought he might let that other, the third one fly right there. Probably should have. Nice ball movement and motion. And you can see right there the motion to me, because it was so quick, good ball movement, the player movement. And then Mathurin gets that in rhythm and just, God, his elevation on his jump shot is gorgeous.
Put on about 15 pounds between last year and this year. You can see it. It's not dramatic, but you can see it in the shoulders, see it in the arms. And Mathurin works defensively right there. That was a fun matchup. And don't you know that James Jordan enjoyed looking him right in the eye. About 11 minutes to go before these teams head into the locker room.
And this is something that you're going to see a lot is Terry rebounding and bringing it up himself. Can really handle it. Playmaker extraordinaire. Yeah, let it fly, Kyer. Hey.
Skip pass to Kyer. He drops that one down. Justin with the triple.
Well, if you'd ask who's the guy that's been playing a lot in college and in the SEC, it's Kyer, because how just like the game is really slow to him right now. Really easy, letting it come to him, knocking down some bombs.
And that game in which he lit up LSU, he had 6 3-pointers last January, late January. 6 3-pointers. He was on the road as well against LSU.
How's that as your backup point guard? And by the way, 2 or 3 position if he wants to.
Shot clock violation at the 10-19 mark. One more look at the stroke of Kyer.
You know, he shoots a little bit of almost just like a little set shot, pretty easy. And what I've been impressed with is the range.
He played in 108 career games at George Mason before transferring to Georgia, where, as we said, he averaged just under 10 points per game. About half of his shots were from 3. Julius Tubelis comes up empty. He's got a bodyguard there with a rebound and a bucket, though.
Well, this is the power size lineup with Tubelis and Koloko. And I think you're going to see Arizona play a lot of small ball this year, but this power lineup is going to be fun to watch.
Everyone will be watching to see the development of Christian Koloko. And I think more than anything, too, they'll be watching to see how Tommy Lloyd and his staff utilize him. Maybe a bit of a different look for him than in years past.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you're going to see him so much pick and roll. You're going to see him going to the rim. He may get as many alley-oop dunks as anybody in this conference this year. He'll be a great rim run guy.
One of the new kids on the block. We've talked about the impact that he has thus far. He's got 9 points, 3 of 4 from distance.
Yeah, pretty easy, as I said. He's just, you know, kind of at an easy pace for him right there. And deep on that second 3 ball, and I think even deeper on the 3rd one. So, I mean, right away, a guy showing that he's very comfortable in this environment. You know, he mentioned something to me in practice the other day. We saw him this weekend, and he said, you know, I wanted to go to a basketball school. And he said, Georgia's a great school and a great conference in the SEC. But it's, let's be honest, it's a football school. And he said, I wanted to be at a basketball school, something iconic, something that had the history, and he's really grateful to be here.
He's a master's student, bachelor's in housing management and policy. George Mason, a bachelor's in sports management. So he's an incredibly well-educated young man, too, that's furthering his education. Tubelis nearly picked a pocket.
I wanted to see that. We saw him in the red-blue jump from 1 foot inside the free throw line and dunk it in. That's to see him get a breakaway.
All Pac-12 performer 2 times. Julius Tubelis was the Pac-12 Freshman of the Week last year. And the Vilnius in Lithuania. Had a game last January, right after New Year's, did Tubelis with 31 points with 8 rebounds. There's some interesting thing going on with these 2 out front. Basketball shared. Tubelis takes advantage. Matherin to Tubelis.
Well, this is an Arizona staple for a long time, 20, 30 years. But in transition, off the rim and to score on the other end, how fast and athletic that break looked.
Jordan with the 3-point bucket. At Kent State, per 40 minutes, 10 points and 7 rebounds per game. At his moment, certainly, Tubelis, just a size disadvantage there for Eastern New Mexico. 33-17.
Yeah, they got caught, I think, on a switch right there, and then Tubelis, with the pin, was able to easily hold his man. And, you know, Eastern New Mexico, they're just not going to see bigs like Tubelis this year.
A 50-50 ball onto the hardwood they go. Alternating possession. Eastern New Mexico basketball. The Greyhounds. I like the Greyhounds. I like the nickname. I'm in. Yeah. This is what you were talking about.
I mean, look at this. A guy that size, I mean, and as big and strong as he is for going inside the free throw line, I was stunned when I saw it. I was kind of trying to figure out what I just saw.
Get to know Shane Noel. He wears number 1. He has those sharp purple shoes. He's a freshman from Eastside Catholic, Seattle, Washington. Noel penetrates now to his left. Kiss off the glass. Beautiful. As I said, get to know Shane Noel.
Yeah, it was. Everyone will know his brother Jalen.
Yep.
Played at Washington. Incredible player. at UW and now in the NBA. So he's got the lineage, and what I'm hearing about him is incredible defender. So I'm going to be fun to watch him lock somebody up right now on the ball as we speak.
Led his high school team in assists in 2021. Sophomore year, 13 points a game, Noel. You mentioned the legend of play of his brother Jalen. Hands, very strong hands. And is enjoying creating. When you play as he did in high school and you lead in assists and you get to the next level, he loves creating for his teammates. Big Ben with a bucket.
You know, Mathurin has, and I said this last year, as gorgeous a jump shot as about anybody in the league. You just watch the rhythm on that shot, the arc on it. Man, it's really locked in.
Kentrell Pullian sent to his backside. Kerr Kriisa, who wanted a call, didn't get it. And then he dropped in a triple. That was pretty.
You know, in that last possession, that's a play you want to pass it at least 2 or 3 times before you throw it right into the post. You throw it from the post on the first pass from the top of the key, not usually going to be effective. Oh, jeez.
Ben again. Off to the right, just a tick. And missed that time. Noel was looking to create for his teammate there.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch Shane Noel get some minutes. They know him up in the Northwest. Trust me, they all know him.
They do. You know what I'm impressed by their wings that come in, Sut, is just how big and strong and athletic all their wings are. You know, they're all 6'5", 6'7", athletic, strong, and Noel's right there with them. Ooh. Good play by Serrano.
Serrano set his feet, took the dive at the right time. Azuolas Tubelis enjoying the flight patterns that we have seen in town, especially on the night of the Red-Blue game. You're clear on runway 1.
Saturday, we're going back-to-back in the backfield. First at 12, the Wildcats look to bear down on Burke as Cal heads to Tucson. Then at 4, the Buffs versus the Bees. Catch all the action starting at 12, only on Pac-12 Network.
Finalist Arizona against the Longhorns in the women's tilt. Visit pac12.me/coast to coast to get your tickets now. That's pac12.me/coast to coast for tickets. Tommy Lloyd sent something very interesting to us after shoot-around today. He said, I have 2 players that are most ready to play under the lights right now. 2. And it might surprise you who he said, folks. He said Dalen Terry and Kerr Kriisa are most ready to play under the lights right now. 2 players that you might think, Ben Mather and Azuolas Tubelis, not quite there yet. I expect them to be there, but not quite there yet.
Yeah, I think he's really challenging those 2 guys. And, you know, they come in with all the headlines, right? Pac-12 freshman, all freshman team, both of them. And I think he's looking for a nice pass there by Tubelis on the back door into his, what you just mentioned, Mather. And I think he's looking for both those guys, you know, the consistency and as good as they are, the responsibility to be really good every day, you know, not just, you know, a couple games here and take a few off. And I think that's what he's going to look for in those guys. They are really talented. You know, they've got, again, 2 great years last year, but a lot of upside as well, and I think Coach Lloyd knows that. He's not letting them sit around and think about last year. He is really challenging them.
And this is a positive here, folks, but I love the fact that he shared it with us. That shows a ton of confidence for a first-year coach with a program like this one. And it shows, you know, the kind of leadership that you would expect. Look, if you played for a coach who was straightforward with you and straightforward with the media, right? Yeah. And when he expected more to you, he'd have no problem talking to you, but then letting him know, hey, I expect this out of Matt going forward. Well, and to me, it's a sense of strong statement, a positive, strong statement.
Well, and you see Coach Lloyd there talking to Shane Noel. And if you talk to Coach Lloyd, what he says more than anything about himself is he's a relationship guy. And he has really spent a ton of time learning a lot about, nice bucket right there over Koloko, but just learning about his guys. And I think getting to know them. And when the guys know you care about them and you got your back, they'll run through a wall for you. And I think that's something he's established in his first few months, when the first few months he was here. And he's done a great job of it.
2 F words that he allows himself to say and command his players to say fast with fundamentals. We want to play fast with fundamentals. We have to. But he wants those two words to start with have to go together. He doesn't want them to go independently. Not to be robotic, fundamentals only, and not to be fast out of control. Yeah, the staff that he has built. I know you're excited to see what he has put together. Jason Gardner there.
Well, yeah, director of player relations, and you look up in the rafters, his numbers up there. His numbers were, hanging up in the rafters. Part of that 2001 team that I still consider probably the most talented team ever in Arizona history. The point guard for that team, and he's going to add a lot. But we'll talk more about the other assistants. I think Tommy Lloyd has really built an awesome staff right now.
Steve Robinson, the legendary assistant coach for a full generation with the Tar Heels and the work he has done, the players that he has sent to the NBA. He brings something incredibly special. Jack Murphy, the one-time coach at Northern Arizona, the member of Sean Miller's staff that is still here. I think it was great when he talked to us, very first time he chatted with us. He said, why would I come in and bring all the things that are only mine? I want the very best of what was here because they can help me understand Tucson, the history of the program, and why if an assistant coach or a member of the staff is a talented individual, I'm not changing them just because they were on the other staff.
Yeah, no, he kept a lot of people here, and you don't see that a lot in coaching changes, and that showed me a ton of confidence as a first-year coach. I mentioned this in the red blue. It reminded me of Steve Kerr, what he did with the Warriors. Hired guys that were head coaches, hired guys that had been around, was not afraid to bring in talent. And he didn't have to be the smartest guy in the room all the time. And I love that kind of attitude.
Duelis with the miss on the triple a moment ago. Penetrating, that ball knocked out of bounds. Kentrell Pullian. And Tommy Lloyd with Jack Murphy. Richard Foy on that staff, who had done great work with the Suns, a very advanced analytics voice, I should say, guide to this team. And he has joined the staff. Provides a different type of wisdom, it's a very diverse staff.
Yeah,
really, as far as what they bring to the table.
It really is.
They didn't fill a room full of yes men either.
No. And he doesn't like that. And if you know Mark Few, his mentor and coach, as Tubelis gets met at the rim.
Incredible presence there. Kobus, who's having fun. Yo Kobus from Columbia College in Miami, Florida, where he had some big moments. Terry's on the move. Dalen, look at that. Oh my goodness, little step. Little sugar shake and then a bucket. Beautiful steal and a bucket, Terry.
Well, Tommy Lloyd's known for recruiting European kids. That was the Euro step classic by Terry right there in those long strides. The 6'7" sophomore. He's gonna have a good year this year.
He's got 4 points, 4 boards in this exhibition. Into the corner, they are letting it fly. Those triples, not afraid. 17 3-point attempts, 17. There's a triple attempt, firm. The back of the iron, and Jose Serrano wanted it, pushing it. Serrano, offensive foul. Stepping in there nicely, Kerr Kriisa, he will do that a ton. I mean, a ton. I talked about Dalen Terry, the highlight reel that he will put on. Has great European teammates. He's learning from them, isn't he? Oh, beautiful.
Noah Williams just exploded last year. Lucas delivered his team to an Elite Eight. And Jaden Delaire is a guy I just really liked since he's come into Stanford, improved every year. He could have a huge year this year for the Cardinal, but a lot of good returning players coming back this year in the Pac. As always, a few gone to the NBA, but I think some solid returnings.
Gilbach's got his thoughts on the Pac. Hang with us for the halftime. How about that physical presence of Oumar Ballo? That's what we spoke about earlier.
Man, just a huge man. I mean, you can look at him, and I like his hands. He has solid hands. Good touch, too.
Think about what his team accomplished last year with their run to the title game, and Ballo had a chance to play in 9 separate minutes in the NCAA tournament, 3 points. Again, it was limited playing time, but all that experience, you can't put a price on what he learned last year.
Yeah, and look at this. He's sealing a guy basically at the free throw line, and with that body, there's no way you're going to help out right there. Now, you mentioned it. He's been around Gonzaga, that program, and the elite few years that they've had up there. And you know, Tommy Lloyd talked about how much he loves coaching big men, and it's one of the things that Coach Lloyd has really built his resume on is player development. He talked about big guys almost being like mowing your lawn. You know, like if you don't tend to it, it's going to look really bad. But when you do tend to it, there's a ton of improvement there. You can see it every day. You're like, wow, it looks good. And he will absolutely work with those guys hard. And I think, to me, the guy, I haven't seen Ballo that much, right? I didn't see him last year. So I can't talk about his improvement, but I can tell you Koloko, to me, looks like a different player.
You have a service, or do you mow your own lawn?
Oh, man.
Was that your comp or his? Did he comp it?
That was his comp.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
that was his.
James Jordan with the triple, Detroit, Michigan native.
You can see what they're going to do with Ballo right now. They're going to post him up at about midway through the key and just see if anybody can come down and help on him. I mean, he's so big.
He's mowing the lawn out there, man. Those stripes that you see when you look out there. I'm not talking about those good-looking rows he has either, which are awesome. I love that comp. I love the comp to mowing the lawn. You can see what he did at the U19 World Cup. There were some very memorable games, by the way, that we look back on. Heck, even at the U16 African Championships in the FIBA world title, he was incredible there. 14 points, 13 rebounds.
Another guy that Chris Rounds. I always talk to guys like, who do you like on these teams, and go to like a strength and conditioning guy, because those are the guys, they see guys working out when no one's watching. They're not even playing basketball. And Rounds had a lot of compliments for a lot of guys on this team. I mentioned Koloko earlier, and Ballo was in that same discussion. Said he really likes his work ethic. An incredible kid. Wow.
Puts up a wall, and there's an answer right over that wall. That's twice we've seen Jared Perry do that.
Yeah, Perry's been terrific so far.
Butler Community College. He's from Surprise, Arizona. Paradise Honors High School, Jared Perry. Went to Adams State and Butler Community College. Matherin, highlight reel just about every time he makes that move. That time along the baseline, he goes back to the line.
You called it early, Darren. He's going to get to the line a lot.
Got to be fun for him to come back into his home state, have some impact.
Yep.
Some oohs and ahs. He's got a lot of family and friends that made their way down. He's got 4 points in 9 minutes.
That play right there, they had Ballo again in the post. And I think what Arizona will learn is swing the ball. So they had it from the left side. They got it to the center. Instead of swinging it to the right where Ballo had his man pinned, they swung it back to the left twice, and nothing was there. So I think they'll learn that. You get it side to side, and it opens up more options.
Isaac Maldonado comes in, number 31 in that dark green jersey from Albuquerque. Maldonado, one of a handful of players that just been waiting for the chance to play. Future chiropractor, he hopes. They're able to work on their academics for sure for a year. A lot of players that stuck with this program. That's a pretty step back along the baseline, and a bucket that time. Cornell Greenwood. 18-point game. One extra pass from Kriisa. And it's off the mark. Adama Ball turns 18 in December. Still oh so very young, Ball. We get to see some minutes from him now.
How crazy is that? Ball's 17 right now, coming out of the game, but from France. Got an incredible ceiling, this kid. He's had a nice red-blue game. You can see the athleticism. Got guys like Kyer on this team, 6 years in college. Ball's been here 2 months.
He considered going pro in France. He considered it. Matherin takes a tumble, draws the whistle. Looked like Greenwood stepped in that time. And it is Greenwood, first personal.
He's just so explosive, Mathurin is, when you just see him live. Like it, you know, I'm sure on TV you see it, but it just jumps out live. And his first step, getting to the rim, and it's just, he's one of the guys. I mentioned some of these wings are 6'7", 6'8". I mean, he's, you know, solid 6'4", 6'5", but the explosiveness, there's not many guys in the Pac-12 that has what he has.
He's got 16 points. He's 6 of 9 from the line. He's got a teammate helped him grab that basketball, but couldn't hold on to it as Aiken sees it trickle out of bounds. Mathurin's got 16, pair of rebounds. Kier's got 9, pair of rebounds, 3 assists. Ballo's got 3, couple of rebounds. Aiken's got 7 with 3 rebounds. Some of the scorers in this game. Coloco's got 5 with 7 rebounds.
Yeah. I like watching. We talked so much about Kier already. He just plays with joy. He was almost like talking to the guy, dribbling it up, kind of smiling at him, and picked him up full court, which I've seen Arizona now, a number of guys picking guys up full court. Now there's the pass to the other side. Ballo had not. Now if they swing it again, Ballo really working for position down low.
And a push to get free.
I didn't see that. I saw his hands straight up in the air, using his body, you know, really effectively. Look at him. He puts his hands straight up. Maybe he just put him down at the very end. Hard to tell, but really like what he's doing down low and how hard he's working.
Claps his hands and goes back to work, frustrated a minute. Now he'll play some defense as this team looks to take it into the locker room. 50-31, Arizona shooting 52% here in the first half. 6 of 15 from long distance. That man's had a huge first half. He leads all of his scores with 11. That one sailed off the mark. Let it be known, by the way, half-court shots when they took them at the end of shoot-around, Tommy Lloyd looked at all of his players and said, let me make it clear, here's how you do it. And he dropped in that half-court shot. Well, his team mobbed him and pushed him against the scorer's table. 50-31, 52% from the floor for Arizona. Ben Mathurin really good with some highlight plays. Some new players stepping up. How about Justin Kier? Fun to see what he could do. Hang with us for halftime.
Football season is starting at American Furniture Warehouse, and we're here to get you ready for the action. Our huge selection of sofas and sectionals will let you call the shots, with options like hidden storage, cup holders, and LED lighting. Our home theater collections will have you reclined and prepped for game time, and we have all the latest styles for your perfect game space. Our goal is to provide you with the best furniture at the best prices so you can focus on the game. Style, selection, and value, that's today's American Furniture Warehouse.
Come on, hop on. It's the NBA 75th.
Good morning, neighbor.
Top of the morning.
This community right here stretches to every corner of the globe. There's a piece of this game for everyone. We've come a long way from the peach basket.
My bad.
So many have made their mark on the league.
Basketball.
Yeah, you know, Tommy Lloyd, we talk a lot about how he wants to play fast and his team plays fast, but he wants to get good shots. That's really, more than playing fast, is good, solid shots. You know, they've been incredible at Gonzaga, leading the nation in field goal percentage. And you see here, good shots. That's really how you get assists. You share the ball, but then you get great shots on the other end. A lot of layups and a lot of open threes. Right here, nobody guards Ben Mathurin, and you know what he can do with it. So I think a solid first half for them. 11 assists, as you mentioned, right on target.
52% from the floor, 25 rebounds, a plus 11 in that number, plus 10 points in the paint. There's just kind of a clear size disadvantage for the Division II team, Eastern New Mexico, and we've seen the big fellas like Coloco and Ballo take advantage of it. The second half, we'll get to know these Wildcats even more when we come back to Tucson, Arizona. On November 9th, all fans get free access to a full day of Pac-12 basketball on Tip-Off Tuesday. Catch every Pac-12 team on the court in HD on the Pac-12 Now app. For more than 10 hours of Pac-12 hoops to tip off the season, be sure to tune in to Pac-12 Network's all basketball season long so you never miss any of the action.
That's Tuesday, huh? And it's free.
It's coming up right around the corner, my friend. It is free. You will be sitting in this chair, I know, serving as an analyst. You have the Northern Arizona game, and I'll be up the road with Portland and ASU.
Okay. All 12 teams, right? Everybody's playing.
But folks can watch and have free access on the app.
Yep. I'll be watching you as I'm doing this game.
Not sure if I believe that. But I like the support.
I appreciate you calling me out too.
Tubelis up with it as it bounced around in the lane. Julius Tubelis.
Look for Tubelis to be pretty strong this half. Didn't have a great first half. Was 2 of 6 from the field, and I think he's going to be active this half.
He's got 6 points now that he has put on that tally. And that one trickles out of bounds.
I think that's what they want to see from Tubelis right there. An offensive rebound on the first possession, a putback, good defense, nice help. And I think that's the consistency they need from him, really in all parts of his game, not just when he gets it down low and can get it to the rim, but all the little things.
52-31 offensive foul.
I didn't see that. I mean, that was,
and it was Tubelis again.
First team foul of the half.
Second personal, first team foul of the half. Let's see. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, as big as he is and how hard he can hit guys, that was nothing.
3 of 7 from the floor. Nothing of 2 from long distance, Tubelis. Koloko looked like a walk, no whistle that time. Well, penetration, sharing of the basketball. Christian Koloko after the miss. Lob to Tubelis, a little bit firm. Kirk Kriisa tried to get together with him, couldn't do so. Mathurin fires. Comes up well short that time. Arizona basketball. Had a couple of trailers, but tried to take it himself. Ben with 16 points. Went to the line 9 times in the first half. A couple of assists, 3 rebounds as well. When he scored last year, as Kriisa fires up a triple, comes up empty. Koloko. Jump ball, alternates possession. Eastern New Mexico basketball.
Now you see Kriisa there looking over at Tommy Lloyd. Tommy Lloyd looking back. Hey, said it was a good shot. Hasn't hit a 3, but all 4 of them he has taken have been right on target. And I won't kid you, son, I'd play in these exhibition games and never wanted to have too great of a statistic game because it didn't count. So, you know, you want to hit all 4 of them when the games really start. But, you know, I know maybe a little frustrated, but like I said, his shot is on point, not just going in tonight.
Arizona and Gerald Perry has 6 points now. He's a perfect 3 of 3 from the floor. Sound like a baseball player talking about spring training. How about that? Hammered home. Christian Koloko dumped underneath. They hope to see a lot of that this year.
It's another charge by Kriisa. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's going to lead the Pac-12 this year. I said top 3 or 5 in the Red Bull. He's going to lead the Pac-12. Well, the high-low for Arizona is going to be there all year when you have these 2 bigs playing together. And great action there by Arizona setting that up. And the seal by Koloko, and just so long. I mean, how do you stop that?
Big man passing, love it. And it's an element that you will expect to see with them both out there. And Koloko sharing on the other side. He wanted the basketball for a lob. Kerr fires it again. Kriisa says, oh, there we go. I finally got one.
And that was all set up by the pick and roll action. You called it on the lob. Koloko was looking for it. They helped down on the lob, and because they helped, Kriisa was wide open. You kind of got to pick your poison if you run that pick and roll correctly, and they did.
Kriisa with his first 3 points of this game. Koloko bats it a couple of times, knocks it out of bounds.
Well, here's the last part. There's the action. You see Koloko diving, the help right there, and that frees up Kriisa. And I think it'd be interesting to see who is the best shooter on this team, because I think you've got, you know, Kriisa, Ben Mathurin for sure, and I think Pelle Larsson not playing in this game would have a say in that.
In his limited playing time last year, we said,
look at that.
Look at Terry. He's got Matherin with him all the way.
Wow.
Foul on the hardwood. They wanted to count that bucket as he headed and put that one home. But a steal, and then a gymnast, and then a bucket.
Well, they called the foul there on the ground. We should start counting that as the and one in college as well coming up. But that was another next level play right there by Terry. You can just see the length by him, and a guy that we talked a little bit about this last year, you know, wants to be Andre Iguodala when he grows up. I mean, that's the guy, like the length, the size. He's got the kind of the same body, you know, really a good ball handler and a playmaker.
Koloko from underneath, swatted, don't count that bucket. Goaltending Yo Kovas, who has been fun to watch. Koloko adds to his tally.
See, I don't think Koloko the last 2 years, look at him catch it and gather, keeps it up. I'm not sure he scores that. We saw that in the first half when he was able to do that. That was the second time we saw a nice job by him using his strength and height.
Christian's got 9 with 9 rebounds. 9 points, 9 rebounds. 4 of 5 from the floor. Scrum for the basketball. And a pretty good one, for that matter.
Yeah, great job by Tubelis there, defending on this side. And
nice little scrap for the basketball underneath.
Again, that lineup we talked about. So you look at Koloko, 7'1". He's got an NBA body. You look at Tubelis. I mean, he's every bit of 6'9", 6'10", NBA type size. And then Terry's at 6'7", another NBA size.
Also number 55, James Jordan.
Then Matherin at the 2. I mean, it's just their size and athleticism it really jumps out at you.
Talking about Tubelis this season, able to work on the details, the little things, the footwork. Not worrying about finding where his class is, getting comfortable with college basketball. Now he's prepping to be an NBA player. Beautiful big man pass, and Koloko couldn't convert that time, though. Love watching him pass. It's going to be a joy to watch the two of them work this year. Up and over Koloko. Terry is a rebounding machine. He'll block a bunch of shots for you, too. Look at that vision. Pass to Matherin. Into Kriisa. Comes up short. But there's Ben again. Short one more time. How about one more try for Matherin? Third time's a charm.
Well, you mentioned the little things with Tubelis, and I think same with Matherin. 5 rebounds a game last year, and I think the coaches would like to see that up at 7 or 8. We saw it right there, 2 offensive rebounds, just being active.
Penetration, nice little step back. KP, Kentrell Pulliam. And a bunch of big games as a high schooler out of Michigan. Understanding the strengths of this team, the weaknesses too, against the D2 talent.
Come on, hop on. It's the NBA 75th.
Good morning, neighbor.
Top of the morning.
This community right here stretches to every corner of the globe. There's a piece of this game for everyone. We've come a long way from the peach basket.
Oh.
Yeah, I mentioned in the open, you know, the last time 2 all Pac-12 all-freshman guys came back was it Jordan Bell and Dylan from Oregon a few years back. That team eventually went to the Final Four. So when you have talent like that come back and get better, we always talk about it, kind of the cliche, you get better between your freshman and sophomore season, and they had great freshman seasons. So sometimes, you know, too, you walk in and think it's easy when you have that kind of success. So I know that, as you mentioned, the little things really the key for these 2 guys.
They look to Matherin again. He comes up just a little bit short. A nice up and under rebound. That's Pulliam. Penetration, nice bounce pass along the baseline. Vern Harris, Randy McCall, Michael Greenstein. That is a heck of a crew for this one.
No kidding.
Our officials tonight, our officiating crew. 36% is the number 36. That's what Eastern New Mexico is shooting. Terry all the way, clears some space with that shoulder, and Jalen's got 6 points, along with 6 rebounds.
You know a guy's really good when he makes something like that look that easy. That was not that easy, coast to coast, having to knock off one defender, another one behind him, and he just made it look simple. Tommy Lloyd showing a little zone here, a little zone package. They didn't play a lot of zone at Gonzaga when he was there, mostly a man team, but they would put it in when necessary or when it made sense from a matchup standpoint. So I think that's when you do it in the exhibition set. Try everything, look for new combos, having some fun out here. Arizona rolling.
This is called momentum. And there's no off season. It's work that builds on itself. Over and over and over again.
University of Arizona, they have a lottery pick or 2 playing on this team, and we saw this conference do its thing again and produce more from, as we saw, Williams, Duarte, impact players in the NBA.
Yeah, Duarte has been incredible so far for Indiana. So is Evan Mobley. He has been as advertised. And here come the incoming guys, some McDonald's All-Americans, and you see Oregon, Stanford, UCLA. An embarrassment of riches up there after being a number 1 or 2 team, and they bring in Peyton Watson, and then Washington, Jackson Grant from Washington. So 4 new ones. They're going to be coming in with a lot of potential on those teams.
St. Mark's in Dallas, Texas for Harrison Ingram. Older brother Will played college basketball, and choosing Stanford over the likes of North Carolina, Purdue, Michigan, and Harvard. Excellent in the classroom. Heck, he's headed to Stanford. Ought to be fun for these talented McDonald's All-Americans, and it's a proud moment for this conference to add them. Koloko adds more to his tally. Christian Koloko with a bucket. He's got 11. He's also got 10 rebounds. Double-double right there.
Yeah, and I like the pass there by Mathurin. He could have shot it. He could probably get a shot every time down if he wanted, but sharing the ball with Tubelis and getting other guys in the action.
Be a lot of double-doubles. Only been to the line twice, Koloko. And you'll see more of that, I would imagine.
You know, one thing that jumps out to me watching them in the zone, you know, man's going to be the preferential look at Kyer all the way, is just the length on that zone, Darren. Like look right now when you have Terry at the top of that zone. It almost reminds me when Washington ran that a few years ago, and they can extend it so far out. And with those athletes, there was a lob with Koloko was open, but it could be a defense they play more this year than you think.
Kyer, by the way, bucket a moment ago. He's got 11 points. He's also got 3 rebounds. Kyer with 8 career double-doubles through his journey. And so you will see him stat stack as he fights his way down the court right now. Tubelis, a little bit firm on the hammer time. Christian Koloko, a triple. Oh, baby, Christian.
He loves it. Wow. Look at the smile come out for CeeLo.
He was 0 for 1, 0 for 1 from distance last year.
And he looked like he could do it again.
Come on now, Christian. That's fun stuff right there.
Yeah, that is fun right there, and gave the little fake. Looked pretty easy for him right there. That could be something in the coming years you see more of. See, if you miss that one, it's hard to then advocate for more of them the rest of the year. But he can go to Tommy Lloyd and say, hey, I made it, coach. Tommy's over there saying, what the heck are you talking about, Matt? Do not say that on the air.
Ballo comes on. Aiken comes on. Kokrisa comes on. 3-point specialist, Koloko sits.
Doing everything.
I'm looking for that 3-point attempt when that was last year. It was against Washington. Feb 27. It was a miss, by the way. He was a perfect 5 from 5 from the line in that game. He had 11 points. Had a very good game. 11 points against Washington. 0 for 1 from distance.
From distance, yeah.
Boy, some gutsy efforts we have seen. And Jose Serrano is not alone, the Venezuelan. When they did have a season when he was able to play, he averaged 10 points, 5 rebounds a game.
Serrano, as you said, had the numbers and was a big player for them. Serrano can't hit the curveball, but Serrano can get offensive rebounds.
That's a different one now. Come on. It's not the Jobu Serrano there. Traveling violation. I know you're a big baseball fan. Hey, by the way, he also attempted his very first year another triple. Coloco did, and he missed that one. This is 0 for 2.
0 for 2, okay.
This is an exhibition, and as Matt said, the reason he was frustrated about exhibitions, that 3, no one will ever know.
It won't be on the stat sheet.
Right? A tree just fell in the woods right there, folks. That 3, a tree just fell in the woods. Go find it on Basketball Reference. Penetration, Terry fouled hard.
Well, Terry did a nice job. You could see him coming down when he shot it, but watch him. He splits the defenders here. Great handling, strength, and he's coming down, but holds it long enough. The only thing the defender could do was foul him. And I think when I mentioned Pelle Larsson, really smart player. I think Terry, same thing. They got a lot of high IQ players on this team.
Phoenix, Arizona, Hillcrest Prep. Had a chance to go to the training camp for the USA U19 national team. Didn't make that team. The World Cup in Latvia, but had that opportunity, had that invite. Interesting things. When he had a block in a game last year, and that was 6 times, and he blocked a bunch of shots, the team was 6-0. 9 times he had 4 more rebounds. When he did that, they were 9-0.
I don't know if anybody goes into the metrics as deep as you do, Dan. Those are some deep metrics, and I'm loving it.
Deep thoughts. They're there to be studied, right?
They're there.
We'll get into win shares in our next broadcast together. Box plus minus. All sorts of things.
Terry from the back.
Tried to hit Paulo. Nice job holding on and controlling the basketball there by Aiken. Kim Aiken Jr., East Valley High School. Redlands, California, Eastern Washington transfer.
So you had to respect Kyer from that 3. Had to get out on him. You know, Darren, I hit a few 3s when I was here, and they were on the scorecard, but loving the big 7-1er, 7-1 kid, knocking him down from deep. Simo.
Football season is starting at American Furniture Warehouse, and we're here to get you ready for the action.
8 days from today, it all starts for real. The stats will count. Northern Arizona on the Pac-12 network. University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley on the network. North Dakota State as well. And then it's a trip to Vegas where Wichita State, talented program, and Michigan and/or UNLV awaits.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Arizona takes over Vegas again. McHale North, as they called it, was not in the Pac-12 tournament last year, will be this year. And see if they get the fan support. That would be a great tournament. 3 Pac-12 games before that on the network.
Beautiful vision, nice pass to Aiken. Herc Kriisa comes diving after the basketball. Wildcats basketball. Wildcats returning 8 players, accounting for about half of the points scored, about half of the rebounds, and as far as assists go, that man will like to take hold of it. They return only 1/3 of the team's assists this year. Celebration of the 25th anniversary of the 1997 national title team this year. Like to play deep into March. They hope they have the components and the moving parts. And out of time.
And they got it back.
Wildcat basketball.
Celebrating certainly this team this year. It's a wonderful opportunity for Tommy Lloyd to kind of dive into the culture and the history as well from the past.
Well, and the 2 things that jump out, everybody talks about beating 3 #1 seeds. Never happened before that, and it's never happened since. But the thing that really jumped out to me, Seth, was 5th in the conference. that year. And then they went on a run, got hot, played Kansas in that incredible Sweet 16 matchup. I thought Kansas was maybe the second or third best team in history in the NCAA to that point. Incredible upset there, and then they just kept it rolling.
Ballo swats that one away. One of 10 newcomers on the floor for the Cats as they play for real 8 days from now against Northern Arizona. Ballo goes to work. Too many steps that time.
Well, I'm not sure he's going to. They're going to look at the film, and he doesn't need the dribble. It's just catch, turn, and there's the banner of the '97 team. 2001 right next to it. Man, that team was, like I said, as good as anyone. Did not win it, lost in the final to Duke.
A new era as pertains to leadership here. You and I were talking about it pregame. It was an opportunity for Tommy Lloyd to really put his stamp as a head coach. He's already done so as a coach, as an assistant, with such a legacy that he left behind in Gonzaga. There was a lot of winning that went on in that Sean Miller era, no doubt about that, though. That doesn't need to be forgotten.
No question. Sean was an incredible coach here in Tucson. I think the one thing that, for him, the only thing he didn't do was reach a Final Four, but I mean, just 30-plus wins a number of years in a row, and in the tournament almost every year. He's an incredible coach, and will be coaching somewhere at some point soon.
411 games, Sean Miller on campus, 302 of them wins. Quick math, that's a winning percentage of 74%. Penetration and bucket. James Jordan having a wonderful run tonight. Doing some flexing out there. It's fun to see for Jordan. He's got 13 points.
I think Aiken's jump shot is interesting. He shoots it pretty high. A lot of wrist, a lot of hand, just wrist strength on his jump shot. Doesn't jump as high as Ben Mathurin, but he loves McHale right now. When you look at tonight, the red-blue game.
Wildcat basketball. Returning for Eastern New Mexico, number 33, Kevin Nzinga.
Wow. Picks it off the dribble right there, looking above his head. Looks like the left hand. Was that a la Shaq many years ago?
Went to Westside Christian in Detroit, then went to Kent State. And a big game against Central Michigan. Playing at the Division I level at Kent State.
Greyhounds basketball.
A little bit of time in community college as well. First team all conference. And he is leading all of his teammates in scoring. Jordan, that is, 13 points.
Nice job.
Playing under the brighter lights with more families in the seats. And they'll see all year long.
No question.
With a hand in his face. Hess.
Coming off a screen.
Adam Hess is a SoCal guy from Westlake High School. Transferred from UTEP, Texas El Paso. Cabellas with the miss. That's the son of Lisa and Davis. David, I should say. Went to Salt Lake City Community College. Adam Hess, big-time three-point shooter. Tommy Lloyd getting comfortable with this team with all of us watching.
This is called momentum. And there's no off-season. It's work that builds on itself. Over and over and over again.
One more. Let's go.
No perfect scenario, no perfect conditions. Just a continuous journey of improvement through training.
Getting to know an Arizona Wildcats team individually as they are up by more than 30 points. Mathurin, Kyer, Koloko, Aiken. Your takeaways from those four gentlemen?
Well, you look at Kyer and Aiken, the experienced guys, been through it a million times, and not surprising. Mathurin just, open game right here, kind of up and down. He's going to dominate. But I think for me, it's been Koloko. Just the improvement of CeeLo, hitting that 3, the 10 rebounds. Again, I think he's going to have a big year, and I think he's going to be a guy that, as I said, I think Arizona could go small a lot as Aiken knocks that in, but they can go small with Koloko on the inside. And, you know, play that really big center at 7-1, and everybody else a wing and a guard. That would be a fun team to watch.
Muehlbach, I love the passing big man. I love it.
You do,
Tubelis to Aiken. I love a big fella that has good hands, and he's got him, Tubelis, and looks to pass. We've seen it all night long. Aiken was a beneficiary.
Well, and Tubelis will be the other guy on that small lineup. If they take Koloko out, you put him at the 5.
Julius.
Tubelis at the 5. This is what they want him to do, too. Post up right there and see and make plays for others. He did a lot of his stuff off the dribble last year, which is fine. But he's so big and strong. If you can get him down low and make things happen right there, he basically created the layup for Kriisa. As Kriisa has a little fun with the coaches. He did not hit a 2-pointer last year. He did not make a 2-pointer, and he ran by the bench, I think, telling all of them, look at that, I can score from 2 as well.
And he earns the foul, all excited, bodying up.
They loved it.
A 2-point bucket.
Yeah, and you see again. Now watch Tubelis here just clear that entire side out. And watch Kriisa. He's going to tell him, give me 2 points right there. Look at that. I can do it. You think about that. He took 42 shots. And only 4 of them were 2-pointers. And missed all 4 of those. Only 2 free throws last year. So not a guy that spent a lot of time in the lane. I think a big part of that set was James Akinjo.
Yes.
Pretty ball dominant. I think, you know, Kriisa played a lot off the ball. Didn't have as many opportunities.
Tubelis, here he goes. He started it with the defense. He ended it with the dunk. Just a quick little up and in jump hook of Julius and Tubelis.
The right hand. Nice right hand by the lefty.
He's got 8 points, does Julius. He's got a pair of rebounds. Wow. He's out front. Tubelis! Little flex at the end of Julius.
I mean, again, the strength and the athleticism from the big fella. It's fun to watch.
All right. That's 10 points now. Second half has been his show the last couple of minutes. Great defense, great passing.
Yeah, I have a feeling maybe Coach Lloyd, maybe some of the others got on him a little that first half. Like, let's pick it up a little bit, and he has.
Well, look, let's make no mistake about it. When he pointed out to you and I the guys that were ready for the bright lights and didn't mention his name, you're making a statement. Here he is on the other end.
Well, he took advantage of the missed dunk and then throws it down himself. And God, he just has so much power, that lefty. Look at the guy on the bottom there just shielding himself. Look out.
Hey, Adama Ball is back. He's bringing it up, number 2 in that white jersey from Paris. He's done some amazing things and played internationally as well. What beautiful give and go and sharing of the basketball. Jordan Maines just made his way back on from Pinnacle High School. Maines an instant impact. Nice job.
Maines can play. Maines can play. I've seen him in practice enough, you know, that this guy can actually contribute. He can play a little bit.
Pinnacle High School's in the Phoenix area. Should have been more specific about that. Played with Nico Mannion. They together won a state championship. And off to professional basketball. But Jordan Maines played in 4 games in 2 years. He has played a total of 6 minutes. Something tells me he'll play more than 6 minutes this year. He's kind of climbed a little bit up that depth chart.
He's got some size. And a solid guy for this Arizona team, mostly on the bench, obviously, but again, really improved in practice. He's gotten a lot better. And you think a guy like that playing against, you know, really good Pac-12 players every day, and how much better you can get.
Started as a student manager.
Yeah, it's.
He just wanted these moments and these opportunities. Whistle away from the basketball to clear some space. Noel jump shot, nothing doing there. Big fella, ball low, I should say, whistled for the foul. Ballo had a game in 12 minutes against Dixie State where he had 17 points, 5 rebounds in 12 minutes. He was allowed to open things up just a little bit for Gonzaga. I'm excited to see his minutes this year. Ooh. There's a minute, there's a swat, there's another minute, and another swat. Maines, come on.
Right on cue.
Offensive foul.
Also on offense number 50, Jordan Maines. His first personal
something, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. That 7'6" wingspan for a man who's 7 feet tall. Ballo builds a wallow here, no doubt about that.
Coming right back at you, too.
Boom. Oumar Ballo. Ulukoro Mali is his home. A chance to play in the U19 World Championship, represent Mali. Just keeps the hands up, and the roll is unkind on the other side for Isaac Maldonado, the Albuquerque native.
Well, Maldonado made a nice move because Ballo did a really nice job using his body to play defense there, and impressed with that skill that he has.
Into the corner it goes. Ballo tries to grab it, can't do it. Shane Noel with the miss that time. All the way with the bucket, no tip there. Basanakis, Nico Basanakis, the freshman from Texas. Julius Tuvelis. The bright lights are on, and it looks like he's just fine under those bright lights. You know what? I'm going to stamp him ready. He's ready for the regular season.
Saturday, we're going back-to-back in the backfield. First at 12, the Wildcats look to bear down on Berkeley as Cal heads to Tucson. Then at 4, the Buffs versus the Bees. Catch all the action starting at 12, only on Pac-12 Network. Presented by Goldfish.
Come on, hop on. It's the NBA 75th.
Good morning, neighbor.
Top of the morning.
This community right here stretches to every corner of the globe. There's a piece of this game for everyone. We've come a long way from the Peach Basket.
My bad.
So many have made their mark on the league.
And I ain't finished yet.
This is where little moves become movements. But no matter how big the game gets, one thing's for certain. Game don't stop. It won't stop.
Why hide your skin if Dupixent has your moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis under control?
Hide our skin, not us.
Because Dupixent targets a root cause of eczema, it helps heal your skin from within, keeping you one step ahead of it. And for kids ages 6 and up, that means clearer skin and noticeably less itch.
Hide my skin? Not me.
By helping to control eczema with Dupixent, you can change how their skin looks and feels. And that's the kind of change you notice.
Hide my skin? Not me.
Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, or a parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them.
Away, Northern Arizona, 7:30, 8:30 Mountain, Pac-12, Arizona. Or on the app. And by the way, Tip-Off Tuesday, you can catch all the games, get free access to a full day of Pac-12 basketball on Tip-Off Tuesday on the Pac-12 Now app. 10 hours of hoops in this conference. And obviously, tune into the Pac-12 networks all season long. Never miss any of the action. One brand new coach takes on another brand new coach. Tommy Lloyd, his first win, and he hopes it comes 8 days from now, will take him to 1-0 as a head coach. Long distance flush. Adama Ball, the freshman, as we said, still 17 from Paris.
How high is that arc? This moon ball right there. I love the arc. I mean, I've always said if I could do things over in college, one of the things I'll do is have a higher arc. And he's got it.
Cornell Greenwood.
Will Menno is on. A lot of these role players now getting a great opportunity. Tudvilas Tubelis.
Yeah.
Brother is on out there working. So an opportunity for the players that are also very important. My goodness. Adama Ball.
That thing, I mean, it's, as I said, I'll just repeat it. The arc is phenomenal. I mean, you saw it. We saw it right from our chair how high that was. That was higher than the first one.
He's got 6 points, pitching it in all of a sudden. Is that one? Nice job defensively standing in there. Tut Vilas played in 5 games last year, 9 total minutes. Like 3 minutes against Oregon State with some impact. So Brent Owen, who waited a full season as the head coach without a game, without a chance to coach, now has one in an exhibition as he deals with Arizona. The Eastern New Mexico head coach tonight has to be special, as we've gotten to know. Brent Owen took a lot of time for us introducing his team. We're certainly excited to see how his squad does, the Greyhounds at the D2 level.
Yeah, I think they've got a good coach there. A lot of experience at that D2 level.
Substitution time.
Here comes that arc again, Sut. That was the first one. Whew. It's the second one. I'm telling you, that was higher, that second one. Our producer, Feldy, reminded me, David Feldman reminded me of Purvis Short back in the Bay Area. When I was back there, you know, Feldy, Purvis Short used to hit the bank shot, too, from, I mean, he had the highest arcing bank shot I've ever seen. He'd hit it from about 17 or 18, but that's a great call.
Never nervous, Purvis.
Yep.
Final thought on Brent Owen. David Vo on his staff. He's got a great collection of assistants along with Tim Boland. And interesting to see what will happen as Brent Owen gets kind of his dream job, a head coach at the collegiate level. A 9-year assistant coach, University of Southern Indiana. Took some time in the middle of that tenure to coach high school for a couple of years, which is interesting as a head coach.
Yeah, I think he wanted to get the taste of a head coach, being on the bench, making the call. We asked him, both of us said, what's the difference between, you were an assistant for a while, you were the head coach in high school, now you're the head coach. He said, it's just everything you have to deal with. He said, I'm literally like, during the national anthem thinking about, is my team set up the right way? Are they looking the right way? I mean, just everything you have to think about, and you never think about as an assistant. And who's going through that? Same thing, Tommy Lloyd. A lot of new things just to deal with, shoot around, substitution patterns. There's a lot on your plate.
The ball just
Whoa!
Long distance dedication. That's Ben Ackerley.
Are you kidding?
Eastside Prep, Seattle, Washington.
Look at the bench right now. That's the happiest they've been all night.
Big Ben Ackerley.
Wow. That was a bomb.
From the logo, by the way.
Where's the cactus when you need it?
Fighting for a rebound. And then it's turned over. Nice quick elevation. Pretty shot that time. Nico Basanakis, the Texan.
Oh, wow. That was fun.
Grabbing at the jersey as he went up there. Ackerley, long three. He's getting a little bit out of control. Here's Ben. A do-it-all guard, he was called in high school.
Steph Curry? Is that what they called him? Look at that. Dang. Give him credit, man. That's his first shot in McHale Center in front of a crowd like this. And woo, look at this bench, Sut. Put that on the highlight reel forever.
Eastside Prep, Kirtland, Washington. Brother is Hunter. I'm sure Hunter will see that if he hasn't seen it.
That's going to be like at his wedding someday. They're going to have that up there. I mean, that's solid. That'll never go away.
He's got great ties, Mr. Ackley, is his grandfather, owner of the Sonics for many, many years. Just shy of 100 points. They do it for real 8 days from now. The Arizona Wildcats alongside the visitors from Eastern New Mexico. It all counts after this for both of these programs. And for the Wildcats, the expected players played very well. Mather with 18 points. He had 16 rebounds. Majula's very strong in the second half. had 10 points. Christian Coloco, 14 points, 10 rebounds.
Yeah, and, you know, it's an exhibition game. You figured Arizona, highly favored, going to come away with a score like this. I thought it was a great start for them. You know, a lot of guys got in, a lot of guys did some things. And I think now, you know, Tommy Lloyd's got some tape, and he can get back, talk about the things they've been working on. I was impressed with, you know, a few of the guys. Kyer, obviously, a 6-year guy coming over here from Georgia. So grateful to be here, and a good start for a bunch of guys.
Yeah, to Matt's point, Justin Kyer, 14 points. He was 4 of 6 from distance. He had 4 rebounds. He had 3 assists as well. Got to feel fun for Kyer to be able to contribute. Here's some pictures to back up what Matt's talking about.
Well, a kid that I mentioned to you before the game, talked to at practice, and super grateful to be here in Tucson, and he shot the ball really, really well tonight. Just making everything from deep. He has a pretty, you know, easygoing shot there, almost a little bit like a set shot, but I mentioned the range and the confidence to knock him in.
Listen to all the action of men's basketball and baseball.
Some of what went on tonight, 5 Arizona players in double figures, and the field goal percentage plus 20 on the rebound margin, right at 50%, 36 of 72. And as we talked about, the wealth was spread around. Don't want to forget Aiken, who you mentioned, who had 14 points. He had 8 rebounds. He had 4 assists as well. But it's been a pleasure to get to know Justin Kyer, because it is his pleasure to be here. He's made that clear to you in your conversations. A young man out of George Mason, and then Georgia having a really solid night tonight. We hope to spend time with him in just a moment when he joins us, and he's with us. He steps in. Hey, Justin, congratulations. I know it all counts for real now next week, but how did it feel tonight to dust him off again and to play somebody other than a guy wearing an Arizona uniform?
Absolutely. It was great. It was great to get out here in front of these McKale fans. They're great. They had the energy tonight, and it was just good to get, you know, like you said, that dust off and get excited a little bit, ready for our home opener next Saturday. So, you know, it was fun. It was fun. We got our walk-ons in. That was a lot of our goals, was to try to get them in and get them going a little bit. But it was a lot of fun, a lot of good energy here.
Hey, Justin, this is Matt Muehlbach. We talked on Saturday, and you told me, you said, I wanted to be at a place that was a basketball school, and here you are. And what a start. I mean, you looked really comfortable. The game seemed to come really easy to you. And I know you're a good shooter, but 4 of 6 from 3. Tell me about knocking them in from downtown.
For sure. That's just work. That's just work that I've put in over the years. And I've tried to, you know, continue to get better at that. I still got a lot of ways to go. But, yeah, just feeling comfortable out there. You know, it's my 5th year of basketball, so just being comfortable, not getting the nerves. You know, I don't really get nerves anymore. So it was just fun to get out here and get in front of these fans and let the game come to me, you know.
Well, you could see that. And we didn't really get into your story of your mom, Keely, who had an accident when you were a small kid and raised by your grandmother, Evelyn. We'll talk about that in the coming games. But I was just impressed with how grateful you are as well. Just to be out here playing in front of fans, playing hoops again. And it really shows your love for the game, your joy for the game. Talk about that and how that's kind of spread to your team.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what, you know, everybody's got their negatives and their downs that they got to go through. That's my story, you know. That's my life that I've had to go through. And I've had 2 great grandparents who have raised me right, you know, throughout the, you know, things that have happened with us. So my family's going to continue to go, and I'm going to continue to put on for them and try to have a great year and continue to do that for them. You know, they're my whys for sure, like I told you the other day. You always have to have a why, motivation, and that's who I play for. So I'm going to continue to work and do everything I can for them.
So the patriarch of your basketball family right now is Tommy Lloyd. You've played for other coaches. You've played for a lot of them throughout your amateur journey. We could talk all we want about him. I'd love your perspective on your new head coach.
He's a great guy. He's very very calm. You know, he makes you feel at home, and he doesn't really get you too on your toes. He's a great guy, and the way he coaches, I love. He trusts in his guys. He gives his guys a lot of freedom. And that's the best thing you could give from a player coach is confidence and freedom. But also he you know, is very accountable. You got to be 1 for 1. That's what we talk about. Going 1 for 1, going 1 for 1. I've had my miss-ups, and I'm sure he'll joke about it until I leave here. But he's a great guy, and our relationship is getting so much better. And you know, I'm glad he trusts me. And I'm glad I trust him to come here and make this special here in Tucson.
Justin, he was 1 for 1 from half court, though. I mean, that was ridiculous. I hear he makes every half court shot before your red-blue, before today. Yeah, I saw it. It was ridiculous.
He's 2 for 2 on the first tries. I don't know where. I've never seen him shoot a jumper, so that was crazy.
And he talks a little bit, too. He lets you know about it.
He definitely is. He's very confident, very, very confident.
A lot of fun, and thanks for hanging out with us. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
What a joy. What a joy, as you said. Very grateful Justin Kier had a big night for this squad tonight. It didn't count. Matt makes it clear. These are exhibition stats. But
right.
I know you said when you were a player, hey, we didn't want to have our hugest nights. But I think for a guy like him, he wanted to have a big first night, even in the exhibition.
Well, and I think so, coming from Georgia. And remember, not just playing for Georgia. He started every single game last year. But I think it's almost like a trade in baseball. You go from one team to the other. You want to show your teammates, you want to show your coach, you want to show the fans that you can play. And he's come here with a good resume, and he did that tonight. And I think there's a bunch of other guys that wanted to do that tonight, and I think they did it as well.
Yeah, Christian Koloko, a big part of the story. I don't know how much you'll read about it, but just the evolution of the athlete. The three-point was cute. I mean, that was really neat. Probably will have 1 or 2 more chances to do that, but had 14 points, had 10 rebounds, and played like a bigger, stronger, more confident, more well-rounded player.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And we're going to see a lot of him this year. It'll be fun to see him play against some other bigs as well.
On behalf of our entire Pac-12 Network production team, the folks at Eastern New Mexico and at Arizona, that's my partner, Matt Muehlbach. My name is Darren Sutton. And until next week, 8 days from now, we'll see all of you very soon on campus on the hardwood. Good night, everyone.